My wife was craving Italian food so badly after enjoying a few weeks in Japan, so I had to make sure that her needs were met. So I decided to book us tickets to Italy. However, while doing that, I was like, what if we do this in style? So I went ahead and decided to scout a bit to find perfect match. After so many failed attempts, I landed on a deal that was too good to pass up. Singapore Airlines was having a sale on their 5th Freedom route from JFK to Frankfurt. When I saw that, I went ahead and booked it. So, welcome to our first ever Singapore Airlines review on our channel, and which happened to be in their business class. So come along as we evaluate our travel with them by showing you our experience from check-in, lounge experience at JFK, and our flight experience to Frankfurt. Grab your favorite beverage and snack as we travel to Italy. If you're new to our channel, welcome, and thank you to those of you who have been following us since the beginning. At The Puns Adventure, we specialize in providing comprehensive flight and resort reviews to enhance your travel experiences. Additionally, we offer valuable travel tips to ensure your safety during your travel journeys. Occasionally, we also share our love for travel through engaging vlogs. If this content resonates with you, consider subscribing to our channel and activating the notification bell to stay up to date on our latest videos. Let's get started. Our journey begins at JFK Airport Terminal 5 at the TWA Hotel. You may ask why. Well, we took an early flight from Raleigh and we are not able to check in online. Check-in opens up 3 hours before the flight, so we asked ourselves, what will be a cool thing to do while we wait? Well, visit the TWA Hotel. We have always heard of this place and wanted to check it out. While here, guests can enjoy the lounge area and reminisce on the era once dominated airline TWA was. They have bars, food area, and the hotel itself. Staying here can run you no less than $200 at minimum. Outside, they have their plane that is now turned into a bar where guests and visitors alike can enjoy cocktail during the cocktail hours. There's also a pool overlooking the runway. But I believe you must be staying here in order to use the pool. Let me know in the comment if I'm wrong about that. Another cool fact about this hotel is that it was featured in the Leonardo DiCaprio movie, Catch Me If You Can. We spent about 4 hours here and it is time for us to start making our way to Terminal 4 to check in for our flight. So we're now here at JFK Terminal 4 and we're going to find actual where Singapore Airlines check-in counter are, and then we can be able to get checked in. When we got here, the check-in desk were still not open for check-in. This was the most disappointing part about this flight experience. With the advancement in technology, there could have been kiosks that can allow you to check in, especially if you're not checking in any bags hours before. Having to wait this long for them to open really takes away the premium aspect of this trip and cuts down time spent at lounge enjoying champagne and drinks. Alright, so one downside about coming here early on Terminal 5, or at least flying with Singapore right now, is saying that they do not open the lines until 4 hours before the flight. So our flight is at 8:50, so that means at 4:50, that's when they will be opening up the lines. The worst will be maybe at 5 p.m., that's when they'll open up the line. So because of that, and because we couldn't get our boarding pass earlier, we just cannot go into through security and then be able to start enjoying the lounge, which is really, I think, is a downside on that. So having the capability to have boarding pass by just doing an online check-in should be sufficient, because we already checked in online and now we're just waiting to get the boarding pass because they want us to actually come here to be able to verify our passport. So we're gonna wait here and see how long it takes before we actually get ready to go and check in for a flight. We waited and waited until it was time for check-in. Knowing what we know now, we could have stayed longer at the TWA Hotel and enjoyed the bar more. So if you're flying with them, be sure to not show up too early before the check-in desks are open. During the check-in time, the person checking us in was, let's just say, rude. Didn't bother to greet us or even explain to us the lounges available for us here at JFK. I knew that there is a Premier Class lounge and Air India lounges that are available here for passengers traveling on Singapore Airlines Business Class. In the past, you could use the Virgin Atlantic lounge, but they have since stopped that and only allowing customers in their suite on A380 and Solitaire PPS Club members. Given that we have Amex Interior Lounge access, This is where we'll be spending the majority of our time. This lounge is really tiny. I know there are 2 separate levels, but when it is full, it is really crammed and has limited seating. Also, the layout is really awkward, making it hard to find seats. We stayed primarily on the top level, but if you want a private ambience, there's a hidden bar downstairs. The food options available here were decent, but I feel like Amex Interior Lounge food falls behind Capital One and Chase lounges. We enjoyed a bit of the meal service here and took also the advantage of the shower that they had available. Be sure to reserve your spot as you come into the lounge in order to use the shower. The shower room contained all the necessities that one will need. Let's check out the PrimeClass before heading to board. When we got to PrimeClass, they were also getting full and were turning priority pass passengers away. However, we got in because we had access due to our ticket. The food options here was bad for premium cabin travel. Singapore Airlines has to work on getting a better lounge partnership for their business class passengers here at JFK. Anyways, we left there and tried Air India Lounge. They wouldn't even let us in, but I'm glad that we didn't go there. It was mediocre. They, however, let me go inside quickly to look around. Let's go to the gate and board. While waiting to board, we were able to catch on the beautiful aircraft that will be taking us down to Frankfurt. We are boarding from gate A6. The boarding was by group, and since we were one of the first people to board, we get to see the cabin empty. All right, we're getting boarded right now. Yes, super excited. Going to board right now on this very first here on our channel, showing you guys the very first business class with Singapore Airlines. So let's get going inside now. Hi. Thank you. All right. Welcome to this beautiful Singapore Airlines cabin on this Boeing 777-300ER. The flight attendant escorted us to our seat. What a great first impression of this beauty. Seeing it in person is so much better than in pictures. Let me provide you with the seating configuration on this 777-300 fleet. There are 4 cabins of service on this fleet. First class has 4 seats in 1-2-1 configuration. Right behind it, you have the business class cabin with 48 seats in a 1-2-1 configuration. The smaller, more intimate cabin in the front and the larger cabin in the back where we'll be sitting. This is followed by 28 premium economy class cabin with 2-4-2 configuration. Lastly, economy cabin with 184 seats in a 3-3-3 configuration with exception on some rows with 2-3-2 configuration. In business class, you want to avoid seats 19 and 21A and K as they have no windows. The bulkhead seats are the best as they have lots of legroom space, and the seat when in flatbed mode allows you to sleep straight and not curve like in the other ones. We will be concentrating in the second cabin since this is where we'll be sitting. I'm in seat 20A and my wife is in 20D. The window seats are for those looking to sit alone, and the middle seats are for those traveling together and want to sit together. Since I wanted some takeoff and landing shot, I reserved the window seat and my wife the middle seat, but next to me so that we can continue to have conversation. Let's take a quick look at both the economy class and premium economy, and then we will get back to the business class. This configuration on the premium economy is my least favorite. This is because of the 4 seats in the middle. Paying a premium cost only to be stuck in the middle is really not fair. But the 2 seats by the windows are a bit manageable. Nevertheless, it's really nice cabin. The economy was in 3-3-3 cabin configuration. The design and the color scheme is really nice. It looked as if this fleet was just delivered to Singapore Airlines. I will have to try them in the economy class in the future to see how it fares out. I was really impressed with the economy cabin and the amount of legroom and the wide TV. Let's get back to our seat and I will provide you with the first impression and then evaluate what is around the seat and the amenities provided on this flight. All right, so we're now sitting right on our seats here. I'm in 20A and the wife is 20D. So right now I am super excited because this is the first time we're actually flying on this product over here. So shortly we are going to review what's around the seat and I will bring that to you. So let's go. So this space is really huge. So I've flown with all the business class seats and this feels more like a first class seat. So it's amazing just to be able to see how this product looks like. Other videos don't do justice on it. It really feels spacious. It's super huge. And then the other thing that is cool about this seat here, I need 2 windows so I can be able to actually see outside. The seat is really large and wide in comparison to many other airlines. My wife was super excited to be embarking on this journey. Let's see what is around the seat. Again, my seat is 20A, had 2 windows, 19 and 21 did not. There's a huge TV, but it is not a touch screen. There's a storage cubby right in front of you, and then underneath it, you have a hidden mirror for you to check yourself out, especially before landing. The leg space for sleeping is really tiny and angled. Additional storage on the bottom for you to place your shoes and a small bag. On your left-hand side, there's another small storage where the water and headphones were placed. You also have a huge and sturdy tray table. As previously mentioned, you do get lots of leg room. Behind you, you also have another small storage space. As you can tell by now, the theme here is storage. There's also a personal reading light and next to it, the headphone jack. Under that, you have standard power outlet, a USB charger, and HDMI port. On your right side, you have the seat controller and additional headphone jack. There are more mood lighting to spice up your seat area. They were confusing to use at first, but then got used to them. Lastly, there's a coat hook by the TV. One thing that was missing and is becoming rare and rare is the individual air vent. Now let's evaluate what is provided to you. You get a pillow, a blanket, and food menu. You also get an amenity kit, but you have to request it. As shown previously, you have a bottle of water and headphones. They also provide you with the eye light shade and slippers. Take a quick pause to read the menu if you would like to see what is offered on this flight. Shortly after, a welcome drink was provided and I went with orange juice. They just gave me a pre-departure drink. It's like the orange. Cheers. The cabin was not full, so there was no one sitting next to my wife.
And landing. To fasten, bring the 2 ends of the seatbelt together until you hear a click. Tighten it by pulling on strap. To unfasten, lift the metal flap. We recommend keeping your seatbelt fastened throughout the flight.
We started our pushback on time and made our way to the runway to make our departure on this 8-hour flight to Frankfurt. As we taxi, let's evaluate the IFE on this flight. Since the TV is not a touchscreen, you have to use the remote control provided. Annoyingly, it was intuitive and it allows you to navigate through your selection even while laying flat. As far as the selection available, Singapore has extensive amount of movies, TV shows, and more to select from, both from Asian and Western options. We are ready to take off. Our path today will take us north, crossing through Canada, passing Halifax, Deer Lake, and then Atlantic Ocean, and passing through Ireland and UK, and then down to Frankfurt, with a time of 7 hours and 2 minutes after takeoff. As we take off, I would like to thank you if you're watching this video for this long. While we're at it, if you're enjoying this so far, can you hit the like button? This is one of the ways that you can support this channel free of charge. We are truly appreciative of all of you who watch our video and interact with it. By doing so, it allows us to be discovered and makes it possible for us to continue to bring you content like this. There are many other ways that you can support the channel, and it is in the description. We are now in the air, so let's check out the toilet on this flight. One thing that was missing on this flight was the amenity kit, but you are able to really grab anything that you need from the toilet. The toilet was well stocked, decorated, and clean. They had lotion, perfume, and facial mist. Let's get back to our seat for our meal service. As we wait for the meal service to begin, let's briefly discuss privacy or lack of thereof. As much as I enjoy these seats, they really do lack privacy. I will be interested in seeing what Singapore will be doing to make these seats private in the likes of Qatar Airways, Japan Airlines, ANA, Etihad, and more. Anyways, if you have been watching us, you have seen our meal service on Qatar Airways, on Asiana, Malaysian Airways, and Etihad. Let's see if this service will top them or not. The flight attendant came with our drink and mixed nuts. We both went with the Singapore signature drink, the Singapore Sling, which is really good. Definitely a recommendation for you to try this if you're flying with them. The table was prepared and they brought us our starter. We did have book to cook option in which we selected our meal a few days before our flight. I wasn't too happy with the starter. Also, there was a strong turbulence that kept shaking my drink. I believe the starter was a salmon salad. This was a 2 out of 5. This was paired with the pretzel bun and wine and water. The main came and my wife had ordered the grain-fed black Angus beef tenderloin with creamy polenta, red wine sauce with seasonal vegetables. She said it was 5 out of 5. While I went with the lamb chop with herb crust. It didn't look like it, but that is what I was told it was served. It came with risotto, which was okay. Not sure on the rest of the scallions. It tasted alright, but it was not the best meal that I had, so a 3.5 out of 5. Then they served the dessert, which were really nice. We selected 2 choices, and since the cabin was empty, they couldn't say no. 5 out of 5 on the dessert. My score on the meal is 10.5 out of 15, while my wife rating is 13 out of 15. I was still hungry, so I requested to try the noodle soup dish. This was really tasty and filled me up. 5 out of 5. After the meal, it was time to try to get a bit of sleep, since we now only have 6 hours left on this flight. The flight attendant made our bed and we were ready to sleep. 4.5 hours later, it was time to get up and eat the final meal on this flight. My wife was still tired and she wanted to sleep a bit longer. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention that even though they do not give amenity kit on this flight, the flight attendant were nice enough to give us one. You can get one upon request and can fill it up with what you'll find from the toilet since the bag had limited stuff. Breakfast was served and I decided to go with the noodle dish again while my wife selected the fruit platter. The food was good, 4 out of 5. We have started our descent into Frankfurt and the window shades were open to give light to the cabin. As we descend to Frankfurt, let me provide you with my final thoughts. Overall, this was a decent flight. The seat was wide and comfortable, the bed was really nice, and I was able to get 4.5 hours of sleep. The flight attendants were really friendly and attentive. They really made us feel special. The food option booked to cook was mediocre for me. I think primarily because of the JFK or New York catering. The soup was great and also my noodle dish for breakfast. The dessert was delicious. The areas that I believe that this journey felt short was the check-in process and the lounge availability at JFK. Singapore really needs to step up their game and get their own lounge. I know that there is an Amex and Chase lounge there, but to truly experience the premium aspect, they should have their own lounge. Also, the check-in personnel need to be trained again to understand the value that exists in the customer service. Other than that, it was a great experience on board and poor experience at the airport. In the future, my hope is to catch the longest flight starting in Singapore or either on their A380 or the 90-hour flight straight to EWR. This was on the 5th Freedom route, which travels between JFK to Singapore, but with a stop in Frankfurt, capitalizing in 2 markets. Have you traveled recently with Singapore Airways? If so, how was your experience, especially if you travel in or out of JFK? Let us know in the comment. We still recommend this flight as it is one of the best ways to experience Singapore Airlines premium service on a shorter route. Now, how much did we pay for this flight? The total cost for this flight from JFK to Napoli was $2,600 one way for both my wife and I, which comes out to be $1,300 per person. I was looking for ways to redeem points or miles for the business class seat to Europe, but it was impossible to find availability. So paying cash made sense for us at the time. Our return, we were able to score with British Airways, and that video will be available soon on our channel. So stay tuned for that. We have arrived in Frankfurt, where we'll be spending about 6 hours here before boarding our flight to Naples. That segment is already on our channel and we'll link it here. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please do not forget to hit the like button, and if you're not a subscriber, consider subscribing to our channel. Lastly, turn on the notification bell so you can stay up to date on our latest videos. We will see you in the next one. Peace.